Okay, so we'll start with the movements from all seasons and regulate the lower burner and the middle burner, and then the upper burner. And we'll start sitting down so that we can isolate the spine and hone in on um, central equilibrium. This is a Tai Chi term, central equilibrium. It's the pretty much the first important energy signature for Tai Chi, the center line, and it builds and sustains and reinforces balance physically and mentally, a sense of balance. And then opposite of that, and counter to that, sort of it's yang because center line is yin, is peng. This is not really needed for four seasons, but this is more Tai Chi material. But peng is the external manifestation. It's peng is ward off, and it's the sort of force field. Um, it's wei chi. It's like your outside energy. When your immune system is up, and when you're healthy, when you're vital, and when you're rested, you've got that presence, and you've got that vitality. Your wei chi, um, your aura is strong. It's established, and you have a protection, and it's connected to the immune system, which is supported by the gut and the energy center. So we looked at the spiritual triangle before. We looked at the like the base and the belt vessel. It's connected to the dantian, the belt vessel, and we've connected this to the hips, and then the what is it called, the fascial lines around the hips, that the belt line is, and this is connected to the what's called the belt vessel, where there's eight vessels in the body. So the center line vessel runs in the spine. That's called the chong mai. It's called the thrusting vessel, where we literally have two as one, right? Two as one. We have the lower energy center and the upper energy center, one for quantity of chi, and then this one is for the quality of the chi's manifestation. So those two energy centers, two as one. With the thrusting vessel, the in the spinal cord, that you have literally simultaneous um, feedback, information, and communication. That's what gives it the quality of two as one, right? If you didn't have that bridge, if you will, you would have two, right? So that center line is important. And so I'm giving you a little bit of a qigong qigong theory, and we're borrowing Tai Chi concept in the what do we call it, the center line. I forget the initial term that I used, but it balances with Pong. So those are the two main energies, like you've heard of Pong, Lu, Ji, An, Sai, Lie, So, Kao. So those are the like main energies, and they're called the main postures of Tai Chi, the main postures. But you have to really wonder, what is posture, right? What is a posture? And basically, what a posture is it's an energy manifestation, if that makes sense. It's an energetic manifestation because it's energy manifesting through the body, and so the body takes a shape. It takes a posture. So Pong Liu Ji An Zai Lia Zhou Kao is are the main There are 13 fundamental postures in Tai Chi. For every school in Tai Chi, they say Pong Yu Ji An Zai Lia So Kao are the 13 fundamental postures, in Tai Chi. So there's two most important postures. One is central equilibrium, center line, and then the opposite and um, other important is Hong. So you have center line, center equilibrium, and Pong. Each of the other postures are in between those, and they're variations of those. And so that's why Pong is inherent in every posture also. So the reason I say all that is because we've been working on yin yang tai chi, right? Harmonizing physical presence, physical posture, yin presence, the immaterial um, that you cannot see, which is comprised of your mental body, your psycho-emotional body, thought, thinking, feeling. So we're trying to harmonize those. We all know what it feels like when those are not in harmony, right? So you're doing something, but your mind is elsewhere, right? Or you're trying to go to sleep, but your mind is racing, right? Something like that. We've all experienced that. So these sort of moments of sort of disharmony, right? By definition. And so we've been working with this yin yang tai chi of blending in the movement and the stillness, the movement of the spine, and dropping into stillness and dropping into wu ji, and settling on center with the spine erect and still. And we're trying to imprint onto the nervous system the feeling, the sense of stillness and movement harmonizing together, which is essentially mind and body coming in together, sort of funneling in and feeling present. And this is where the feeling and the sense of energy and the energetic body can start to arise. Okay. So let's jump in, and we'll see where we land. But we're starting with essentially now in this regard the first movement, the initial movement. And so that's why I like to say this is the root of all movements, the root of all of our movements, because they all coming from the energy center. The first bridge to guide movement from the energy center is going to be the spine bow. So spine opening and closing is where we begin. Simply first, we sense and feel um, erect posture, lifting the head, sitting with the back straight, slightly tucking in the chin, and getting a sense of this center line and this central equilibrium center line from the tailbone up to the top of the head. And so here the task is going to be to hone in on this center line as we move through this first movement. Let's take a few breaths, deep abdominal breathing, breath regulation. The next thing we're going to do is relax the spine. Relax the spine to gravity. And again, this is characterized as slouching. This is where it's going to be okay to slouch just a little bit. And then from here, from the spine, we're going to engage the pelvis, engage lower back, upper, middle back, and start to erect the spine again. Slowly. I really like to get this sense of like a flower just sort of opening at the end of the day, like a tulip or something, and then it just relaxes and it closes in. So we're creating now a cycle, a smooth, continuous movement. Essentially, we're closing, relaxing the spine, and then from the tailbone, opening, erecting the spine, all the way to the top of the head. And as we do so, we feel that central equilibrium building, the sense of it, and we relax it. So, first and foremost, we start with just opening and closing of the spine. Don't forget to engage and coordinate your deep abdominal breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Exhaling as you relax and release the posture. Inhaling to open the spine and erect the spine. So essentially, where we are right now is Tai meditation. Tai Chi meditation. Simple, slow, low impact, continuous movement. Next thing that we'll do is begin to wave the spine. And so when I say wave the spine, we want to move the spine section by section, feeling the movement from the tailbone, move up, and the lower back opens, middle, then upper back to the neck and head, up to the top of the head. We exhale, close the spine. You're almost hunching over just a bit more. Yet you're going to roll the spine up, inhaling, and exhaling. Inhaling, rolling up the spine. Here's where softness and flexibility begins to imprint itself onto the nervous system. So you get the sense of softness via the spine and the spine wave. You can place your hands on your knees. And when you close your spine forward, you can put some of that gravitational pressure onto the knees with your hands. So let's take some repetitions and explore your range of motion. Another way of saying that is exaggerate the movement. Most important thing is continue to harmonize the inhalations and exhalations with the movement. Promote relaxation and softness. Okay. So now in this simple movement, this spine wave, we have yin and yang. We have yang opening, rising, flexing, and yin closing, descending, collapsing, relaxing, releasing. So now we return back to Wu Ji from yin yang. Tai Chi is the process that returns yin and yang back to Wu Ji. Tai Chi is the energy and the process that facilitates yin and yang from Wu Ji, but also returns yin and yang to Wu Ji. So, what does this mean? Now we're going to hone in on our mental center, our mental center line, central equilibrium, and incrementally bring in the spinal waves. Getting this sense and feeling of blending the movement into stillness. So you have an idea of where it feels like, I'm saying that correctly, where it feels like to sit erect, where your mental center is, and harmonize that with your physical center. Continue to breathe deeply, promote relaxation, and don't hold tension. The only really place where there might be tension is in the lower back to erect the spine, maybe in the neck to lift the head. So as you hone into Wu Ji, into your center line, feel the smallest, most nuanced waves of the spine as you connect with your mind, the tailbone up to the top of the head. See what it feels like to make the most nuanced, most small of spinal waves and how close you can get to stillness and how small and nuanced you can make the wave as you hone in on your center line. At any time, you can relax the posture and release the posture by releasing the spine to gravity. So we'll close the spine. Return to that cycle and process by inhaling and lifting the spine. Now we're going to focus on the upper burner. So this is going to include the shoulder girdle and the shoulder joint. You could do a few things here with your hands. You can keep your hands on your knees. You can turn your hands and fingers in to face each other. You can bring your hands to your chest to gain the rolling of the shoulders that's desired with regulating the upper burner. And so now we're revisiting our spinal wave and just giving a little bit more attention to the upper burner. So you're feeling like softness and flexibility, smoothness with the shoulder girdle, with the scapula, the clavicle, feeling also the neck stretching as a result. As again, you explore your range of motion. Inhaling, opening, exhaling, closing. Let's go ahead and relax the hands down on the knees again. Bring the shoulders to a stop. And now we're going to explore the sea as we allow the head to tilt down. So a little bit of like an ostrich sort of feeling as you extend the neck forward. Buddha explores the sea. So we're extending the head forward as you relax the neck a little bit down. And it helps, I like to also pull the shoulders back. As we do that, we're going to turn the gaze to the left and or right, whichever side you'd like to turn to. Swing it back to center. That's going to be inhale. Slowly pan your gaze to the other side. Exhaling. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling to the side. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling to the side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, switch. Slowly lift your head up, come back to center. Take a second and again revisit your center line and your central equilibrium. To get that sense of stability and center. Feel free to again explore a little bit of the spinal wave. Don't hold your breath. Inhale deeply, exhale. Okay, now we're going to stand up, continue. Slowly stand up and open your eyes if you can closing your eyes. It's always good to close the eyes on those internal exercises to internalize the awareness. So we're standing now. Our center and our spine are now propped and supported by our two legs. So we're adding a little bit, we're adding two more bows and a little bit more complexity to the movements. So simply relax the knees and the ankles and relax the hips. Let the tailbone point to the ground. And again, we're revisiting that initial root movement. So it's going to include the legs now. So from the feet, we're extending the legs, opening the spine, lifting the head, feeling that process now instead of from the tailbone, from the feet. Relaxing again, closing leg bows, closing spine bow, inhaling, extending, pushing into the ground, opening the spine. Let the head touch the clouds, and then relax the posture, exhaling. So now we're going to go to windlass. So we want to move the energy and move the windlass, starting from the dantian, the physical center, feeling it come through the spine, and now it's going into the shoulders. So we're going to start to animate the shoulders, rolling the shoulders, and you see that now starts to influence the arms. So what you'll do is open the spine, engage the shoulders, sort of wing out, if you will, wing out, and then relax the posture. Everything relaxes on the exhale. Inhale, it begins from the feet, legs, hips, spine, shoulders, now elbows. And you can start to make the windlass posture. Let's go ahead and do a hand posture. Let's go ahead and do a soft fist, touching the thumbs to the uh, index and middle fingers. So we're making a little hand posture now, animating the movement, animating the body from the dantian, shoulders, elbows, and relax. Begin again, inhaling, opening, exhaling, closing, relaxing, releasing, inhaling, shoulders, then elbows, and relax. Not at wrist yet. We're not at wrist yet. So see what it feels like now that we're at shoulders and elbows, but not at wrists. Just get a sense, get a little imprint on the nervous system, a little bit of data. Now you move the windlass from the elbow to the wrist. So now you can start to animate your fist. Simply what I'm doing is just rising and falling. I haven't done any circling yet, but simply what I'm doing is rising and falling. And if we get disconnected here, my internet might just go out as a result of losing power, but I'll switch it back on. So now what we'll do is we'll put one foot forward. Doesn't matter which one. Feel better with your right, go ahead and do your right. Same movement. But now what we're going to do is rock back and rock forward. And this is what's going to allow us to now circle. Simply relax the weight, exhaling to the back foot and inhaling from the back foot, opening legs, spine, arms, extending forward, relaxing, releasing, back down, inhale, and exhale. At any time, you can switch feet, balancing the energies on the legs. Important thing is to feel the movement coming from the feet into the legs via the hips, spine, shoulders, elbows, and hands. Now try to solidify a nice, smooth, relaxed pace for yourself where the movement is coordinated with your deep abdominal breathing. Switching legs here. So a lot of times people ask, "Well, how do you move so slow? Why why is it that you go so slow?" And so sort of in response to that, of course, the slowness is me promoting relaxation, coordinating with breath. However, at the same time, in a way, I'm always keeping in mind Wu Ji. So I'm always sort of, especially on the exhale, pretending like I'm falling into that Wu Ji state, into that stillness state. And then essentially that's when we revisit Wu Ji in the yin yang cycle. So yin will bring us closer to Wu Ji, and from Wu Ji, yang grows again. And I switch legs. I don't know if I mentioned it. Again, feel free to switch legs as you see fit. Great. Now we're going to bring the feet together. Start to spiral the movement back in. Relaxing the hands down in front. Really taking time to bring the movement to a close. taking the time to relax the arms, taking the time to release the hands and release the fingers. Until finally it's just standing and breathing. Now here we're honing in on center line as it's connected down into the legs and into the feet and into the earth. Let's do a little bit pulling of the bow. So we're going to inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, close the arms using the shoulders, almost as if you're touching elbows to one another. Opening chest, pulling back, inhaling, and exhaling. Now you're going to close elbows and hands. You're going to open, slightly close the fists, and exhale, open the fists. Inhale smoothly. And exhale. Elbows like magnets to one another, hands like magnets to one another. And open, inhale. Relax the hands. So this is how we're going to transition to the next movement. Slowly relaxing, releasing the weight of the arms and the hands. Couple of breath cycles here. We're going to go to pushing the stone tablet. Immortal pushes the stone tablet. So find that immortal body in you. Inhale, lift the hands to the chest. And exhale. One hand pushes out, other opposite elbow pushes back. Look back to that elbow. Smoothly come back to the center. Breathing. naturally, smoothly. Switching hands, pushing out to the front with the hand, pushing to the back with the elbow. Look back to your elbow. And switching again smoothly. Try to maximize your range of motion, pulling the hand and the elbow away from one another, turning to stretch the torso, turning to look back at the elbow. Try to release on exhale and come back to the center to switch again. And make this one your last one as you come to the center. Inhale to center, exhale, relax and release the hands down. I'm going to do fingers under toes. So if you're comfortable with it, try to get the hand under the feet. Get the hand under the feet. However, you can still make the hand and arm posture and still get the benefit. So we're going to inhale, stretch the arms up. And hinge at the hips, keeping back and arms straight. Exhaling, finally bending to stretch lower back, stretch hamstrings, turn the fingers to point back behind you. As if you're going to place the palms under the feet. And if you're comfortable with doing that, feel free to do that as well too. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Bend the spine, slowly roll, coming up, inhaling. Lifting hands up. Straight back, straight arms. Inhale. Exhale, bend at the hips. Keep back and arms straight. Finally, at the end, allow the back to relax, allow the neck and head to relax, allow the shoulders to relax. Simply turn the fingers and the hands to face back behind you. Again, bend the knees, drop the hips, bend the spine, slowly roll up, inhaling. We'll do one more. Take your time, lift the arms, breathe comfortably, naturally. Inhale, stretch the hands to the sky. Exhale, bend at the hips, straight back, straight arms. Finally, at the end, relax and stretch. Finally, coming back to the center, bending the knees, drop the hips, and roll the spine up. Take a second here. Revisit your posture. Revisit your central equilibrium. Feet connected to the earth. Spine erect. Chin slightly tucked in. Head lifting to the sky. Deep abdominal breathing. Okay, we'll finish now sitting and do a little bit of massage. So as best as you can, you're gonna lift the foot above and onto the thigh or ankle rather. And if this is a compromising position as well, take a second, take a few breath cycles, allow the hips to open up so that you can somewhat comfortably sit cross-legged here, I guess. Okay. First thing we'll do is support the ankle. So we'll use both hands, grab the tissues around the base of the calf and the ankle area. Also grab, um, see how much of the ankle you can grab, giving comfortable support. And at the same time, give yourself flexibility to move your foot and circle your foot. They'll do maybe a dozen. Slowly, smoothly, still with regulated breathing. Change directions. Good. Okay. Use both hands now and use your squeezing energy. Apply pressure onto the uh, foot as if you're, in a way, you're kind of like, I'm not sure what you would be doing, like you're squeezing a big tube of toothpaste. Yeah, just getting familiar with the tissues there. Okay. Now we're going to go into the sole of the foot using both thumbs, just with the initial sort of a sweeping or a combing of the thumbs down the base of the foot there, the sole of the foot. You always want to move towards what feels good and adjust your pressure, adjust your path and movement to what feels good in a way so you let the nerves guide the movement. And then now you can give a little bit more pressure as you get warmed up there with the tips of the thumbs. And again, sweeping down. And at this point now, with the tips of the thumbs, you can focus in, hone in on a place that might feel um, that it needs some attention. Might be a little bit more, it might be sensitive, and that's the place that needs attention. Continue to regulate your breathing, continue to promote relaxation. Okay. Um, we're going to grab the toes, sort of pull them back a little bit. And this is optional. You don't really have to. With the other hand, we're going to make a fist and start to pound at the base of the foot there. You can release the toes, see how that feels, and then pull the toes back again, see how that feels. You want it nice and stimulating. A comfortable pain is good. And then slap the feet now. Scratch the feet. Really stimulate the nerves. And finally, brush away. Okay, let's switch legs. So we don't really talk about stretching much, but yoga is definitely a sister to qigong. So, stretching the joints and the tissues are super vital. This particular position here is going to give you a great stretch that's complementary to qigong, with along with all the standing and the movements, where the hips and legs are involved. Um, they need that stretching. They need that opening. And so this is a great movement. Something like this, pigeon pose, frog, those sort of things. And then even the hip flexors in the front, like a camel or I think it's called cobra, all great postures, um, to complement, qigong. So I'm just allowing my hips to kind of open up here. Okay, so oh yes, ankle. So we're grabbing, supporting the ankle, and then giving some good feet rotations. You can really sense and feel within the ankle as you're rotating the foot. You can feel with the hands, a lot going on in there as you're circling the foot. You're feeling the tissues moving as you're applying pressure. So you're giving a internal massage, if you will, as you're compressing the tissues onto the bones. You're circling the foot, change directions, and allowing the tissues to um, massage themselves against your hand and also the bones. If it's starting to feel warm, it's good in the ankle or in the foot. That's the kind of stimulation that you want, that the blood flow is getting there. Same thing, squeezing the toothpaste out. So applying squeezing pressure onto the foot. This same thing gets you familiar with the tissues of the foot and gets the nerves familiar with the hands. So the nerves getting familiar with the hands creates the bridge and the communication bridge and the feedback mechanism so that the mind is connected to the body and the hands can listen to the nerves. Now I'm supporting my foot with both hands and I'm using the thumbs, just getting it warmed up, pressing sort of a combing motion from the heel to the toes. And then, so as you're doing that large sweeping motion down to the toes, you get a sense of what areas are tight and what areas need attention. So then you'll use the tips of the thumbs, go to that particular area and just give it some attention, pressing into it, and then some small circles. Finally, we'll use a soft but firm fist at the base of the foot and slap the foot now. Scratch the foot, really stimulate those nerves, and brush away. And that completes the session for today.